What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is July 8th of 2020. Well, folks, I hope you all are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and in today's video, I got to spend some time to talk about something that I've obviously been already talking about for the last few months, and I think it's something that many of us have been looking forward to for the last few years in cryptocurrency markets, and that is a final, confident signal that we've entered into a period of time where the altcoins are starting to take charge in the market. It's come a very long way. We've been talking about this for the last few months, and today we finally have gotten our confirmation, a cross past the line of resistance that has not been broken since 2.5 years, all the way back towards the peak in 2018. So we've got to talk about this. We're not only going to be discussing that, but also talking about how we can utilize ratios in a very unique way to determine what altcoins to position ourselves in, and also some big updates in the crypto space as well as DigitFox. We've got lots to talk about right after our quick sponsor. Alrighty, everyone, so let's go ahead and dive straight into it. I started off today by not even just taking a look at what's going on in regards to Bitcoin's price or the top 5 or 10 plays. In fact, I just wanted to start here by the top 24-hour movers, and you can see across the board that we've got a wash of green across the market with very few exceptions down in the red. Many players who had already been overexhausted or had already moved quite highly. And we can see here Dogecoin is still leading the way, up 54% here, as it has basically made a 100% move here in the last 24 to 48 hours. So again, it shows you the wave of speculation is real. And you can see outside of that as well, Cardano up nearly 26% here over the last 24 hours. VeChain, 20%. 0x up nearly 20%. Siacoin up 16% nearly. Chainlink still ripping through the market here, up 14%. Synthetics up nearly 14%. Cosmos, Ren, Elrond, Stellar, Zilliqa, Theta, Status, Icon, Digibyte, Nem. So many different crypto protocols here killing it through the market right now. So it's really good to see this kind of confidence coming through. And there's a key reason for this, right? It's not only that obviously, if you take a look at the last few months, guys, the thing that differentiates this rally from the previous ones is that we're holding the vast majority of its gains. As we've been pushing sideways since back here in May and June, we've been holding the vast majority of gains. Market valuations have remained practically stagnant. And many people would consider that a flag in the market, but you don't even have to really give it a technical term. It just proves confidence within valuations and price. But here's the kicker. I think whereas many people have probably claimed that I'm crazy with how much I bring this up, and I think with any great success there comes a bit of an element of craziness. Over the last few months we've been staying very vigilant on this idea that altcoins had already flipped and started to build up momentum back here in September. But the key thing that I said that I wanted to see before I really got confident that we're stepping into an altcoin cycle is whether or not we step above the line of resistance. And this is the chart here, guys, right? We wanted to see exactly what we saw back here in 2017, right? We had a flip on the SMS indicator. We broke through the wedge here, and that's exactly what we just got here today. For the first time in 2.5 years, and I'll go ahead and bring it here to the weekly so it's a little bit more clear, we have closed above a line of resistance that's been building up since back here in January of 2018. 2.5 years. The time's really flown by, guys. I've enjoyed every moment, even in the bear market. It was a bit difficult, I have no doubt, and I know that there was a lot of people who, again, had gotten in this later period of time, and it was very difficult to see the market act the way that it did. It was irrationally high, and with irrational highs come very stark corrections. But being here since really the last rally and seeing this kind of fuel to the fire come back, I really can't help but be excited about it. It's very, very exciting because this is a period of time where you obviously have great possible returns in the market. as the current asset markets abroad when it comes to equities and other commodities like gold and silver, it's already a great time to be investing right now. But you have not only an opportunity for investments, but outside of that as well, you have a period of time where over the next year or two, we're really going to start to see the materialization of a lot of innovation that we've been hearing about over the last few months and the last few years. It's really going to come to the forefront. And if projects aren't moving fast enough now, they're going to start moving quick enough because there's a market incentive for them to do so. They want to be the tool that people turn to, the layer 2 solution, the protocol that people are going to use to exchange things in a decentralized manner. The time for competition's now, and it's really starting to heat up. Now, again, as we break out of this line here, we can see very clearly, right? We can take it here to the daily if you guys just want to see it on a closer time frame. We've obviously had a breakout here, and the momentum's been building up here. We talked about this for the last few weeks to watch out for this, and we finally have gotten it. Now, in the short term here, for this to continue climbing, what are we really going to need here? Is it going to be a lot of small cap plays that continue to lead the market? I think very much so. I think the small caps, the mid caps, there's no doubt for the ones that are very valuable, from the more larger mid caps like Chainlink, as well as down to the small caps in the DeFi space like Kyber Network, like Lend or Aave. Outside of that as well, RLC, UBT, a lot of these different cryptocurrencies, I think that they're really going to lead the way and obviously gaining some of this market dominance in the long term. But in the short term, we need to start seeing some of the large caps move. I'm talking about Ethereum, Litecoin, some of these larger, more established cryptocurrencies to really solidify the breakout. And right now, if I just take a look at the monthly chart, and again, I like to look at the SMS usually only on a on a monthly time frame or above for the most part. The monthly has been signaling this since back here in September when ETH set its last low. The sign to get long was then, guys. And right now, I mean, it's really, in my opinion, I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm still holding any ETH that I have. I'm holding. If not, I'm putting it in another altcoin in this case that I think is going to outpace ETH. Right? ETH looks great here. This is a perfect bottoming pattern. You can't argue against this. Generally speaking, a line of support all the way back here from February of 2016 that's been rising and setting higher lows. And now we've got this great reversal pattern where we not only set a higher low here compared to the two previous lows, but outside of that as well, this nice rebound here in May, and almost what looks like a curve here that's starting to break up here and potentially set in a higher high. And that's going to be the confirmation, right? It doesn't matter if we start to pull back up here, so long as we set that higher high on the monthly, it's going to be very, very exciting. And again, the same goes here for Litecoin as we talked about, right? Taking a look at Litecoin here, right? The chart is coming out. Oops, sorry. Let me go ahead and get it here on a time period where we have our entry and exit zone, right? So we're getting very close down to here, guys. And I would say be very wary as to whether or not we're going to come all the way down here, right? Because I think a lot of other people are watching this, as we've been talking about in our videos. So again, don't get too greedy to where you wait for these kind of extreme lows on these plays, okay? Just a key point here. But you can see generally, are we on the exit zone or are we towards the entry zone, right? That's the key thing to keep in mind here. Taking off the log chart, it becomes even more clear just how close we are to this range. But there's something else that I want to talk about in the sense of how I analyze markets here, and something that you should all definitely consider utilizing when you go about analyzing altcoin markets, and it's ratios. So one ratio that I think is very, very important, this is probably the biggest one that I'm watching right now, is a perfect example of comparing Oracle solutions, right? So I take a look at what would usually be seen as the front runner Oracle solution, which is RLC, to Link, right? So I take RLC BTC, I divide it by Link BTC. And what you find is these really interesting similar patterns. You see these rallies where for about, somewhere between 95 to 105 days, again, it sometimes can range a little bit in and out of that band. For roughly about 100 days, you tend to find these periods of time where RLC does really good against Chainlink. And then also as well these periods of time where Link is usually a better play than RLC. So what you can do and utilize ratios for is that if you're just going to hold a long-term play on oracles in cryptocurrency markets, it might be good to watch these ratios where you can opt in to take one position or another in these different cryptos. And you can see here that the returns are very similar for these rallies. So I think it's important to focus on this and to see as well if there are changing dynamics. If RLC starts to set higher returns on each of these rallies for over a period of 100 days, it start to return more than 250% comparative to Link. And again, it doesn't always mean that RLC is going up that much. It could mean that Link is going down, but that RLC is holding its value or possibly moving up at that time. Again, very important to watch these ratios. As I told you all, RLC has been a big position that I've built up recently. Outside of that as well, another good one here, ADA BTC to ETH BTC, comparing two of the major protocols. This is a very interesting chart to keep an eye on. And we can see here that in the short term, ADA is a little bit overextended, right? It's had a great rally here. So it might be time for ETH to play a little bit of catch up, or it might be that like back here in December of 2017, we might get a breakout above here. Who knows, right? So the key thing to watch for here is whether or not here on the weekly we get a close here and we hit some resistance, or if we break through. That's the interesting thing to watch. But again, keeping in mind here, you can see how this ratio plays a very valuable kind of perspective as to how things are performing. Now, what's nice is that in some of these pairs here, right? Again, I'm doing ADA BTC / ETH BTC. Sometimes you have ETH pairs that have been lasting for a long time against some cryptos. I preferably like to do this with BTC because we can get the longest term of price feeds, because it tends to be that a lot of these cryptos only traded against Bitcoin for a very long period of time. So again, just something very important to keep in mind here when you're taking a look here at markets. The next thing here as well is Atom to ETH, right? Atom BTC to ETH BTC, another ratio here. And again, looks like we're taking in the return here to where Atom or Cosmos might be in a great position comparative to the performance of ETH here over the next few weeks. Again, 16-week bull market. We could very well get something similar here. It might take a little bit longer, might take a little bit less time, and the return might be a little bit different. But this is just, again, what we're watching for here over the next few weeks. Last one here I wanted to show you guys was REN to Kyber Network. Two other decentralized DeFi plays, or decentralized exchange DeFi plays. And we can see here that the SMS here, the weekly, maybe we'll take a look at the monthly here. Monthly is not really signaling anything yet because we don't have enough price action. But all in all, the weekly thing that I wanted to talk about was this general range here, where eventually after we get out of this chop range here and we break out, there can usually be some really good opportunities where REN can outpace Kyber, and also vice versa, where REN gets overextended, we might want to position ourselves in Kyber. We can also trade these little inner channel cycles here, where it moves down here from a ratio of 0.7 all the way up to 0.15. Not bad if you can get it, right? And again, the whole point here is just knowing where to position yourself in different plays as you're betting on these longer term cycles. It's not that I prefer one project over the other, guys. It's that over time, some of these protocols are going to be in a better position to be where you want to be hedged in a sense, because some plays get overextended, right? And again, it can really lead towards exponential returns on already exponential growth on these broader trends in DeFi and the crypto space. So anyways, I just don't see many people talking about this, and this is one of my favorite tools that I've really started to pick up over the last few months, and it's started to pay off big time as I've really started to utilize them across a variety of crypto plays. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you guys real quick about DigitFox, just to give you guys a quick update on where we're at with the company. DigitFox has been doing great. To share with you guys a big update here, just a couple of days back on July 3rd, we posted an update on our WeFunder page. We've got over 5,000 users registered on the wallet. And that's not just downloads. I think in the actual sense of downloads, like 6,000 or 7,000 wallet or app downloads. But what we've got is 5,000 unique wallet generations. So 5,000 unique smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain that resemble ownership of funds in this case. Someone generated a wallet with each of these users. And outside of that as well, we've got over 300,000 assets under management from our latest update, and more banking on-ramps as well. So more people can make deposits from the EU, from Canada, from all kinds of different regions across the globe. And we're hoping to get a new provider this Friday that's going to allow for a whole wide range of people to start utilizing DigitFox and making deposits directly in the app. But the key thing I wanted to share with you guys is that for those of you who are interested in tokens like Compound, like Balancer, I know as well, DMG, a lot of these DeFi plays, we're going to be listing a lot of these plays in the DigitFox wallet. So if you're interested in any of these, again, I'm not telling you guys to go out and buy them. Plays like RLC, Atom, UBT, all these kind of cryptos, you'll be able to get them inside DigitFox. We're working right now to get DMG and balance token inside of the DigitFox exchange that we have. It's actually run through Uniswap, so we make it seamless. Make it a really seamless experience. Once you deposit stable coins, or if you use one of our fiat on ramps, you can deposit into USDC or ETH, and then you'll be able to go out and buy a wide range of cryptos. But that's one thing we've been working on. Again, just to kind of show you guys this update here, if you want to check it out, it's over on our WeFunder page. And again, the WeFunder is still open, guys. So if you still want to support or become a part of the DigitFox family and have a stake, and basically a future stake in the company, then definitely take a look into it. Might be of interest to you guys. One last thing as well. We got featured in the NASDAQ, which feels pretty cool. So we had an article written about, generally what we're working on and how the crowdfunding is going, things of that sort. So I recommend you guys take a look at that as well. But anyways, it's been great. One last thing I wanted to share with you guys on Twitter here was a really interesting tweet from Tyler Smith. And it really just talks about kind of his future vision of what might happen here over the next few months with Ethereum, and how a lot of things, as I mentioned earlier, are going to start coming to fruition. We're going to have a culmination of a lot of things that have been building up for a very long period of time, finally starting to materialize in crypto markets. Anyways, just want to recommend you guys take a look into this. You can see here his Twitter handle, and you can read into it for yourself. It just kind of talks a little bit about the new phases of ETH 2.0, the phases that we're going to go through, and then also the implementation of layer 2 solutions, and how dApps are really going to start to come to life as DeFi and other, for example, decentralized gaming applications start to come out as well. But I think there's so much interesting things here, guys. Again, a lot of speculation, a lot of hype. And there will definitely be a lot of that over the next few months, no doubt about it. But as a trader, I like those opportunities. I like to take upon those opportunities, right? And again, outside of this, while in the more substantial stuff, really what I care about at the end of the day is the kind of interesting DeFi applications, which again, anything that we find fascinating, we're putting into DigitFox ASAP. So again, if you're a big DeFi head like myself, if you're a big DeFi nerd, then definitely check out DigitFox. I think you guys will really like it. And last thing as well, for those of you who are looking to position yourselves in possibly not only just crypto assets, but also maybe commodities, a great platform as well that I also recommend is Bitpanda Pro, especially for those of you in the EU. Bitpanda Pro can be a great platform to get exposure to crypto assets as well as commodities represented in a digital token format. So again, definitely check out Bitpanda Pro. They're one of our sponsors here on the channel. Outside of that as well, though, guys, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. It's been really great to see the support as of recent. I know this has been a really exciting time in cryptocurrency markets. The crazy thing is if you're here right now, you're part of the minority of people who are keeping attentive. The vast majority of people are not aware of what's going on right now in crypto markets, but eventually they will start to hear about it soon. They'll start to see DeFi. They'll start to see the potential of what's coming up here in the innovation of the cryptocurrency space. There's so much going on in enterprise blockchain and DeFi. It's a bit of a buzzword in some aspects. Yes, it will get much more buzzy over time, but there's also going to be a lot of fundamental developments, as there already has been. Kyber Network moving over to Catalyst, starting to implement its DAO. We're starting to see as well Compound as well, start to really take the center stage as one of the larger DeFi protocols. And MakerDAO has some competition. It's really going to be interesting. Also, there's another one as well, 0x, with their new decentralized exchange Matcha. There's all kinds of fascinating things going on. But anyways, I hope you guys are in it and involved as much as I am. I'm so excited to see how this grows over the next few months and in the next few years. And I think it's going to be a very, very exciting bull market. So again, remember where you were when this happened, guys. This is a pretty exciting and important event here in regards to the market dynamics of cryptocurrencies. And I'm happy to be here with you all for it. So, hope you're all having a fantastic day wherever you are. If you can consider, drop a like, guys, and also drop a comment as to what you're watching in the market. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss another update. And I'll see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.